Hi, welcome to Theadora Vintage. I'm Elisa and today we are going to be doing our very first makeup tutorial. Now, since we've been talking so much about 70s inspired looks on our blog, that's what we're going to do today, a 70s inspired makeup tutorial for the summer. But we expect this trend to continue into the fall, so it'll continue to be a great look for then. So let's get started. Since it's summer, we definitely have to start out with a primer, and today I'm using the Pore Professional by Benefit. So I start by applying it in my most problematic areas, which is on and around my nose and under my eyes. And then I pull it out to the edges of the face and onto the forehead. I'm going to be using my hands today, even though a lot of the time I like to use brushes for applying my foundation. But hands are just easier, and since this is supposed to be an easy, fun summer look, I'm sticking with the hands. Okay. So I'm going to be putting on 2 layers of sort of lighter coverage foundations. The first one is actually just a tinted moisturizer. It's by Jouer, and it's their Luminizing Moisture Tint in Golden. And I really like this moisturizer because it has this light shimmer to it, so it actually adds this sort of nice glow to the skin. And both of them have SPF, which is very important for summer. And again, I'm going to start in my most problematic areas where I'll need the most coverage, which is under my eyes and around my nose. And then I pull it out towards the rest of the face. Okay, just work it in nicely. Remember not to pull too hard on your skin. Okay, the next layer that I use is Dr. Jart Plus Premium, their BB cream in 02 Medium Deep. And I like this one because it has a heavier coverage than just the luminizer on its own, but it still feels very light and fresh on the skin. With the same pattern, I'm going to start under my eyes, around my nose, on the forehead, and then out to the rest of the face. Take a little bit of my concealer, and this is Tarte's Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I think I did not say that right. And again with my fingers, I'm going to just spread it and then dab it, starting at where my socket starts, and kind of flatten that area out a little bit to make them look less sunken in. And then I'm going to start kind of dabbing it up towards my eyes. And since this is a simple look, it's not very dramatic, I don't put any liner under my eyelash, my bottom lash line. So I don't want to push my concealer all the way up to my eyes, because I want to keep any natural definition that's there from my lashes and just my skin tone, so that way it doesn't sort of wash out that area. But I do, so I keep it to where I need the coverage, which is my dark circles. So going on to the brows. Brows are really important when you're doing sort of that fresh, slightly leaning towards I'm not wearing any makeup kind of looks, because it keeps you looking good. You know, it strengthens your face and outlines your eyes, and it gives you that extra oomph without it making it look like you put in too much effort. And so this is also a very light application of eyeliner, or of this brow pomade, which is by Anastasia of Beverly Hills in the color dark brown. And I put just a little bit on my brush, which is a Real Techniques fine liner brush. And today I'm really not going to be drawing on my eyebrows. I'm not going to be filling them in too much. I'm just going to sort of fill in where I need gaps and to make sure that the shape is just defined. So I'm going to start in the center, where your brows should naturally be the darkest. And I'm going to work my way along the bottom to give it some depth, and then pull it out towards the ends. Kind of repeat this a little bit, going up a little bit more in the front, and then going back and just kind of filling in wherever you have gaps and giving it some definition. I love full brows. So this is as light as I go. And I like this pomade for summer because I think its texture does really well. It sits nicely on the brows without smudging or anything after it's set. But if it's kind of more tedious to paint it on, you know, almost lash by lash. So if you have a pencil or something that you prefer, you can always use that. But I just like this one because you can control the lightness. You can make it look as effortless as possible. I'm just gonna run my old brow brush through it just to kind of make sure all my lashes are in place. And then I didn't miss any gaps. And then I'm gonna do it with the other brow. Okay, so I think I'm almost done. I'm just gonna brush this one into shape. I rarely ever leave my house without doing my eyebrows. Even if it's just eyebrows on mascara, that's what I gotta do because I think brows just make you look so much more complete than if you don't do them. And so even if you put on a full face of makeup and you don't do your brows, it just doesn't look finished and it doesn't look polished. So I always do my brows. And I've gotten it down so it doesn't take me too long. And sometimes, you know, I just do a light application and that's all you need. So next we're going to move on to the eyes. And this, again, you can sort of stop where you want to, depending on the look that you're going for. I start with a mini shadow crayon by trèStique in Venetian Gold, and I love this because it comes in just a little eyeshadow stick, and it's a cream shimmer gold kind of eyeshadow. And I like cream shadows for the summer because I think that they stay fairly well as compared to just your regular just powder. I've accidentally fallen asleep in this eyeshadow and it stayed on really well. I woke up and there was just a little bit of glitter around my eyes, but most of it was still on my actual eyelid, which was great. So I'm putting it all over my actual eyelid, and then I'm doing some in my crease, but not all the way around. I start kind of in the outer corner and then I fade out pressure as I start to get to the middle, because I want to make like a nice elongated look that kind of is reminiscent of a cat's eye without doing like a full-on cat's eye look, which can be a little bit more tedious. So I'm going to do it to the other eye. Okay, so that looks nice, and really it doesn't have to be even. This is almost kind of a grunge look just because it's not supposed to be perfect, you know, it's just a nice, easy, kind of more natural look. And I've seen a lot of, when I was doing research on 70s clothing and makeup and style, a lot of it was just a shimmery light gold, and so you could stop here. I've done this before where I take the crayon and I run it under my eye and kind of smudge it around the edges and then just put mascara on and then I'm done. But I'm going to show you my extra step that I do for eyeliners just in case you want to see it. But before I do that, I'm going to add an extra layer of this crayon in the outer corners and up into the crease, just to give it a little bit extra definition there and to make sure the color is deep and true. Again, this kind of helps create that faux cat's eye look. And once this sets, it doesn't really move, so if you have to act kind of quickly if you want to smudge it. It's almost like you have to, once you put it on, you have to smudge it before you move on to the other eye, because you can't really come back and make any alterations, which is nice, but you have to just, for long wear, but you just have to act quickly. Okay, so my eyeliner that I like to use with this color is a Sumita Beauty in Jaipur Gold, and it's a contrast eye pencil, and it comes in this, it's almost green, like an olive kind of gold color, and it's got a nice shimmer to it. I always have trouble. The cap never comes off though. Trouble with this. There we go. Okay, so, and I like it because it just comes in this little smudgy creamy contrast eye pencil, and it's a softer one, so it's very easy to sort of play with. I've worn this all over the eyelid before too, and it looked really nice. And I'm going to just run it along the corner of my eye, a little bit over the middle. And I just kind of push it in, just to add depth. It doesn't have to be an exact line. We're going to smudge it a little bit with a shadow anyways. Or you could stop here. This is another good place to stop. And I try to avoid, when I don't put anything under my eye, like along the bottom lashes, is to put any color right in the corner of my eye. Because I feel like that pulls the corners down rather than kind of up and out like I like with sort of the cat's eye look. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm not pushing it really directly in the corner. I'm kind of going up to where the eyelashes really start to grow. I put it a little low on that side. Okay. And really you just want the color application to be even, not necessarily the shape, because we're going to smudge it with a dark brown eyeshadow. And I'm going to use another Real Techniques brush it's their accent brush, and I love this for eyeliner application because it's this blunt, short, slightly rounded bristle brush, and so you can get really good control, and but it holds a lot of eyeshadow, so you can really get a good amount on there the fastest. And I'm going to be using the dark color from Lime Crime Venus palette, and it's called Icon, and it's this dark brown with sort of a hint of a rust kind of color to it, so it looks really good with green eyes, and also with this gold eyeshadow. And I'm going to just take some on my brush and kind of do exactly what I did with the pencil, and just kind of push it and smudge it right into the eyelashes. And then I'm just going to flick it a little bit up. You don't want a real defined flick. You just want the hint of the shape for this. That looks good. Alrighty, so that's the eyes. I'm going to wait and do my mascara until after I use my bronzer, because I like to do that just in case I get powder in my lashes. I don't want to have to reapply a bunch of layers of mascara. So I'm going to take the Bare Minerals, their bronzer color. It's called Warmth, and I love this color for summer. It's really not really a good one for winter when people have a little bit more of a pallor in their tone. But when you already have a tan, this one works really well. And I'm going to mix it with another shadow from the Lime Crime Venus palette, because the bronzer itself is matte, and the 70s was not really that matte. They had a lot of shimmer. They did crazy fun eyeshadow colors. They were not shy with the makeup. So I'm going to mix it with the Aura color, which is sort of this kind of cream shimmer kind of color. I'm just going to take a couple dabs of the bronzer and a couple dabs of the Aura and kind of start at the cheekbone. You're going to want to hit all the high points of the face where the sun would naturally hit. So the cheekbones, the forehead, the bridge of the nose, and a little bit on the jaw. And then I like to just go back and make sure it's worked really well into the foundation. And this isn't a matte look at all, like I said. So if you have a little bit of shine from your foundations or your beauty balm or whatever, don't worry about it. It actually looks better that way, I think. Okay, so I think that looks good. And then second to last, I'm going to be doing my mascara. And recently I've been using this one that I got as a sample, and I think it's supposed to be said Well People. It's W-E-L-L, but the E is a 3, so I'm assuming it's Well People, but it's Well People Expressionist Mascara. And I really like it because it comes in this rounded brush that has tiny, thin plastic bristles, which are good for people who don't have very thick lashes, because it keeps them from clumping together. So you make the most of each individual lash. And one of my little tips that I like to do is no matter what, I like to have my last brush be sort of up and out to help keep that elongated shape going. But until then, you like to wiggle and cover all the lashes and then sort of flick it outwards. This first coat I always do where I really want to cover each lash, separate, and then cover every inch of it from the bottom to the top. And so I really work at covering every part of it. The second layer is just to add an extra layer of depth, so I usually just stick to keep it fairly close to the root line, to the roots I mean, just to help keep them perky and separated. I just kind of push it in, and it darkens the lash line too a little bit, which is nice. Oh, I almost forgot to do my bottom lashes. It was fairly popular in the 70s as a remnant of 60s to have a fairly heavy coverage of mascara on the bottom. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to be putting on some lip stain. And this one I've been using, and it's a creamy lip stain from Cynthia in the color Sugar. And it's this nice kind of mauve, dusty pink color, which is perfect for the 70s look, or for just summer in general. I like this creamy lip stain because it goes on like a lip gloss, and so it's really smooth. And you can put it on really light, or kind of let it dry and then put another layer on and let it build. I'm not going to need to be too exact with the lip definition because this is just a nice stain. But I've put this on the top of like more matte colors before, and it looked really good, just to give it some definition. Okay, so that's the finished look. I think I remembered to do everything. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to comment here or in our blog if you have any recommendations or ideas for future videos of any kind, especially makeup tutorials, because I had a lot of fun doing this one. And we put links in the description box for our blog, so you can check that out. There's a lot of good 70s clothing tips in there. Or if you want to purchase your own 70s summer look, please visit our shop, and the link is in the description box below as well. And I will be putting a complete description, or a complete product list, both here and on our blog, and also a full outline of everything that I've done in the video today, so you can always look back for more tips. Thank you, bye!